The WNBA opened an investigation into allegedly racist comments made by fans at the Indiana Fever's home opener yesterday. The Indianapolis Star citing sources who say the comments were directed at Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese.
What really happened at the Indiana Fever game that has everyone talking? The WNBA has officially launched an investigation after claims surfaced that Caitlin Clark's fans directed racist heckling toward Angel Reese.
Now, Reese was heavily booed yesterday, especially after this pretty tense moment when Caitlin Clark fouled Reese, who fell to the ground and then immediately got up and approached Clark. That foul eventually upgraded to a flagrant.
Now here's the wild part. Despite nearly 17,000 people in the arena and dozens of cameras, no audio or video evidence of the slur has surfaced. Social media is now erupting, mocking the league for what many see as an overreaction and accusing it of letting new fans call the shots. From online backlash to LeBron James being dragged for praising Clark, this fallout could end up redefining the entire WNBA season. So how did things spiral out of control so quickly?
We all know that somebody on social media decided to say that the Indiana Fever was, the crowd was making monkey noises, something like that during the game yesterday. I think in regards to around a time Angel Reese might have been shooting a layup.
At the center of this firestorm is a single moment during the Indiana Fever's home opener. Reports quickly emerged that as Angel Reese stepped up for a free throw, someone in the crowd allegedly made a monkey noise directed at her. That claim, highly charged and offensive, sent shockwaves through the WNBA community. This wasn't just about one hateful outburst. It sparked deeper questions about how the league addresses racism, who feels safe at games, and whether the WNBA's growing popularity is introducing new challenges along with its new audience. The twist? So far, no recordings or eyewitness accounts have surfaced to confirm what was said or who said it. The game itself was already intense. Nearly 17,000 fans filled the arena, and the energy was electric, especially after a hard foul involving Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese that had the crowd buzzing. Reese was loudly booed throughout the game, and tensions were high. But even with all the cameras, microphones, and social media coverage, there's still no trace of the alleged slur. In an era where every moment is clipped, posted, and shared online within seconds, this alleged incident somehow escaped every phone, live stream, and camera angle. Still, the WNBA didn't wait to act.
In the age of camera phones with audio, if they would have been making monkey sounds, any kind of racist slurs, any of that, it would be all over the place right now. Everywhere. We know what this is. This has been generated to try to put a black mark on the Indiana Fever, the franchise, their fans. They're trying to get the All-Star game pulled out of Indiana.
The league issued a statement today saying it strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in our society.
WNBA saying in a statement today that it, quote, strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in our society.
Did you catch that? The WNBA wasted no time releasing a statement almost immediately, saying it strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. The league also announced a formal investigation and made it clear they were committed to finding answers. The message was firm and direct. They wanted the public to know they were taking the allegations seriously.
The WNBA proudly announced their latest initiative, No Space for Hate, No Space for Hate.
But the moment the statement went public, social media erupted. Some fans applauded the league's no-nonsense stance, calling it the right move. Others pushed back hard, accusing the WNBA of giving in to what they called performative outrage. From a wave of new fans, many of whom only began following the league because of Caitlin Clark, critics argued the league was allowing its identity to be reshaped by outsiders, unfamiliar with the long-standing culture of women's basketball. The debate quickly turned heated, with longtime fans clashing with the new generation.
I tried to find examples of this hatred. I scrolled through Twitter. I read several reports from the woke media. The media made plenty of vague accusations, but they failed to provide a single example.
In response to the initial backlash, the WNBA doubled down, issuing a second statement to reaffirm its stance on inclusivity and zero tolerance for hate. But without any concrete evidence emerging, some fans are now worried that the league is walking a dangerous line, especially if the investigation ends inconclusively. The risk? The league could alienate segments of its growing fan base just when it's starting to reach new heights. Let's be honest.
Let's be real. We've been at sports games. There is random guy gets drunk, takes his top off and says something crazy and then gets kicked out of the game. Is something that happens in sports games. It's something that happens in sports. And if you go combative and say our fans are fine, there's nothing wrong with our fan, then it leaves people open to say, oh, but that one fan. And not to just say, let the league do their investigation. That's the perfect way to respond.
All of this is happening at a time when the WNBA is undergoing rapid transformation. The league is gaining unprecedented attention, and its fan base is evolving. What started as a single incident has now become a defining moment, highlighting growing tension between longtime fans and newcomers, while raising serious questions about what kind of league the WNBA wants to be in the future.
Now, the allegations have since been proven untrue, okay? And the WNBA is in a very, very concerning place because they're dealing with new fans that have come into their league that want to support a particular team, but now you are letting the mob dictate what it is you're going to look into.
Fan reaction is now all over the map, and the tension is easy to see every time you scroll through social media. On one side, you have veteran WNBA fans who understand the league's history and culture. On the other, there's a flood of new viewers, many drawn in by Caitlin Clark's explosive rookie season and the spotlight she brings to every game.
I mean, does the WNBA want to lose Caitlin Clark fans? Because I think as much as people want to support Caitlin Clark, at some point, enough will be enough. And then the league will be right back in the situation it was in.
We're talking about a player who's not just racking up triple-doubles. She's shattering viewership records and pushing the WNBA to new heights in both ratings and ticket sales. Every time Caitlin Clark hits the court, the numbers skyrocket, and suddenly the entire league is in the spotlight. But with all this newfound attention comes a growing clash between long-standing expectations and a shifting reality.
But the WNBA seems content to follow through with this ridiculous investigation. Who is the WNBA going to let control their pocket strings, their pocketbook? Because it seems to me like the new fans are the ones that's funding this whole league now. I mean, we make up about 70% of the fans overall. Otherwise, yesterday's game would have been watched by about 400,000 people, maybe. It probably got watched by what? Upwards of 2 million?
When reports of the alleged racist heckling emerged, longtime WNBA fans didn't stay quiet. They immediately turned to social media, calling for the league to step in. Twitter erupted with demands for a thorough investigation, accountability, and action on what many described as a long history of unaddressed issues. The pushback came fast and loud from the league's most dedicated supporters.
The vast majority of this audience, they have no loyalty to the WNBA. Their loyalty lies with Caitlin Clark, and that loyalty, it is not guaranteed to extend to the rest of this putrid league. No one is loyal to the dump. No one cares about the WNBA. And this damn league is doing everything in their power to guarantee that it stays that.
This debate goes beyond just who supports whom. The core issue is what type of behavior should be allowed in the stands. Booing is common in sports, from the NBA to the NFL. Fans jeer, taunt, and sometimes cross the line. But the WNBA stands out here. No other major league has launched a formal investigation into a crowd incident without concrete evidence.
And there is, I've been in sports crowds. There is a possibility that somebody had a bit too much to drink and they said something out of line. And if that's proven or is reported to security, kick them out, depending on how far they cross the line.
That's what makes the WNBA's response so significant, and why it's fueling such intense debate. Is the league setting a new bar for accountability? Or is it at risk of losing the fans who've stood by it the longest? Then the players joined the conversation. After the game, attention turned to leadership. Caitlin Clark didn't avoid the issue. She addressed it directly, saying, "There's no place for that in our game. There's no place for that in society." Her words emphasized respect and unity, resonating deeply with those hoping the league doesn't lose its moral compass as it grows.
They're investigating alleged comments, hateful comments from fans towards star players. Talked about this in the past. Now it should be an inclusive environment. You want to speak on that?
Yeah, there's no place for that in our game. There's no place for that in society. And, certainly we want every person that comes into our arena, whether player, whether fan, to have a great experience. So I appreciate the league doing that. I appreciate, the Fever organization has been at the forefront of that since, really day one and what they're doing. So, hopefully the investigation, we'll leave that up to them to find anything.
Clark's response, calm, focused, and grounded, cut through all the noise. She called for unity and encouraged fans to let the investigation run its course. Her approach connected with many, but the controversy didn't end there. Social media remained charged, and more big names got pulled into the drama. LeBron James wasn't even present at the game, but after praising Clark's performance and influence, he suddenly found himself in the middle of the storm.
Performance, there he is right here, triple dub CC, great way to kick off the season. Oh, that was the wrong thing to do, because the Angel Reese fans decided to come after LeBron. I mean, wow.
You'd think praise from someone like LeBron James would be celebrated, but instead, it sparked a fresh wave of controversy. Angel Reese's fans came at LeBron hard, accusing him of ignoring black athletes like Reese and calling his shout-out to Clark blatant favoritism. Things got ugly fast. One user even hurled a racial slur at LeBron, weak-ass nana. That's how deeply personal and volatile this debate has become, with the spotlight shifting from what happened on the court to what's exploding in the comments.
Shut the hell up, weak-ass N-word. Oh, I mean, honestly. Did you miss those Diddy parties yet? Question mark. Ooh, there's a lot of black athletes you could be celebrating instead of this.
And it didn't stop there. Critics accused LeBron of pandering to white audiences simply for supporting Clark. Others took aim at his entire legacy, claiming he's out of touch with what really matters in the WNBA. The conversation moved far. Beyond basketball, it became about race, loyalty, and who gets to define the league's future. Supporting Clark was seen by some as disrespecting Reese and vice versa. The divide between fan bases grew sharper with every tweet, every post, each side digging in deeper.
LeBron has been so pro-black that he's torched his reputation and lost half of the NBA fan base tuned out for 4 years. He gets eliminated from the playoffs, the ratings go up, and yet here he is, in a matter of one tweet, all of that out the door, and people dragging him over a pro-Caitlin Clark tweet. Tweet about Angel Reese, punk. I mean, wow. Win a ring, a real ring, you fraud.
Reese's supporters weren't just focused on LeBron. They turned their frustration toward the WNBA itself. They bombarded the league's social channels, demanding firmer action and warning that the league's credibility was on the line. Some even called for the Indiana Fever to be disqualified from playoff contention, insisting that only a bold move could send the right message. Yet through the storm, the Fever players stayed grounded. Caitlin Clark and teammate Brianna Turner publicly voiced their trust in the league's process. In the chaos, their calm, united front stood out. They refused to escalate the drama and stayed focused on moving forward.
The WNBA, the WNBA is going to mess around till they lose a bunch of new fans. A bunch of their new fans, they're fitting to be around for, if Caitlin Clark plays 12 or 15 years, there are going to be a lot of fans that decide they like other players and they want to watch and blah, blah, blah. I was actually watching a little bit of the Suns and the Mystics just before I hit. Do you think that would have ever happened? That's the fall off of that. That's the byproduct of that. WNBA's playing with losing people.
The fallout from all this reveals just how complicated things have gotten. The WNBA is evolving, fast, with a surge of new fans, heightened media attention, and increasingly divided opinions. The league is navigating uncharted territory. Balancing passionate, conflicting voices while holding on to its identity may now be its biggest test yet.